Hey everyone, we're going to practice comparing decimals on a place value chart today, okay? So I'm going to show you some practice examples. You're more than welcome to get a piece of scrap paper and do them with me if you'd like, okay? So let's say we are comparing the weight of 2 birthday cakes, okay? We know that one cake weighs 3 22 pounds and another cake weighs 3 24 pounds, and we want to see which one weighs more. Basically, you're going to draw yourself a quick place value chart. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just make sure you have that decimal point. Label your ones and your tens, your tenths and your hundredths quickly. The most important thing that you're going to do when you're comparing your decimals is make sure that you are lining up your numbers by the decimal point. So the first number, 3 22. Second number, 3 24. Okay, the decimal point drives where the digits are going to go. Okay, so basically I start and work from left to right, okay, looking for a number that is larger. So 3 in the ones column, they're both the same. So I move to the right, which is the 10th column in this example. And these are both the digit 2. So we're going to move to the hundredths place. And in this case, 4 is larger than 2. And that would make this number, 3 24 larger than 3 22. So I would write my answer like that. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Okay, now let's say we are going to compare the weight of bulldogs, and I have a couple pictures to show you. So I don't have a bulldog, but I think they're a pretty cool breed. So I have a puppy on the left and then an adult bulldog on the right. And I learned that the average of the largest female bulldog weighs about 50 4 pounds, and the smallest male bulldog weighs about 50 8 pounds. So you draw yourself your little place value chart quickly. You make sure that you have your decimal point, you have your ones, your tens, you have your tenths, and you have your hundredths, and then you place your numbers on your place value chart. So in this case, I have 50 4 tenths and 50 8 tenths. Again, I start and work my way left to right. In the tens place, both numbers are 5, so I'm going to move to the ones place. Both digits are 0, and then I'm going to move to the tens place. I have an 8 and a 4, and I know already that 8 is larger than 4, so 50 8 tenths is larger than 50 4 tenths, or 50 4 tenths is smaller than, or is less than, 50 8 tenths, and that would be your answer. Okay, let's do another one. All right. Now let's say I'm comparing the weight of watermelon, okay? So let's say I have a watermelon that, wrong digit. I have a watermelon that weighs 7 31 of a pound and 7 29 pounds. And I'm going to draw my quick place value chart. I'm going to make sure that I have my decimal place, my ones, my tens, my tenths, and my hundredths. And then I'm going to place those numbers on the place value chart. So I have 7 31 hundredths, and I have 7 29 hundredths. Work your way left to right, start with the left. So in this case, it's the ones place. Both digits are 7, so I'm going to move to the tenths place. And my digits are different, so I already know that 3 is larger than 2. So 7 31 hundredths is greater than 7 29 hundredths. Okay, let's do another one. All right, so now let's compare 2 numbers that do not have the exact same number of digits, okay? So let's compare 2.45, 2 45 hundredths, and 1 4 tenths. So one important piece of information, I will need you to make sure that just because a number has more digits, it doesn't mean that it's greater. When you're working with decimals, you need to remember that you're working with parts of a whole, not just whole numbers. So you need to use your place value chart. And then you need to place them on the place value chart to compare. So my first number is 2 and 4/4500. Second number is 1 and 4/10. One thing that you can do to help organize your information is you can add zeros to the end of your numbers, because a 0 doesn't change the value of the number. 1 and 4/10 is the same as 1 and 40/100. Okay, and that will help organize your information a little bit. Again, you start with the number to the left. In this case, it's the ones place, and 2 is greater than 1. So we know that 2 and 45/100 is greater than 1 and 40/100. And if you cover up your decimals, you know that 2 is greater than 1. So this number is going to be greater. Okay, now let me show you another example where just because you have more digits doesn't mean that your number is going to be bigger. So let's go with, no, let's use a different number. Let's go with 5 and 46/100 and 8 and 9/10. Okay, so let's place them on the place value chart. Ones, tens, hundredths, 5 and 46/100, 8 and 9/10. Remember, I told you that you can add a 0 to the end of the number because 8 and 9/10 is the same as 8 and 90/100. And basically you start with the left, you're looking at your ones place, you know that 8 is greater than 5. So 8 and 9/10 or 8 and 90/100 is greater than 5 and 46/100. So basically, what I want you to understand is if I cover the decimal places up, I know that 8 is greater than 5. And what I want you to understand is just because this bottom number has less digits doesn't mean that it's automatically a smaller number. Doesn't mean that it's less than the other number you're comparing it to. 8 is greater than 5. You could think of money as well. Let's say this were $8.90. Comparing it to $5.46, you know that $8.90 is greater than $5.46, okay? So use your place value chart to place your numbers. Let your decimal point guide where you put your digits, and that will help you to figure out which numbers are greater and which numbers are less, okay? I hope that you practice some with me, and I hope this helps. Thanks, bye.